Hi, I'm Steve Miller, and this video is to announce our coming product, the askSlim rankings and trade setups. And this is something that we're going to offer to you, to everybody, for the next month at no cost, just to give you an opportunity to see what we're doing and for us to be able to learn and get your feedback and to be able to tweak this particular offering. We think this is going to be great and valuable to really all traders and investors. Each week we look at 330 high cap stocks, mid cap, widely held, things that are easy to trade in the options market, and that being basically our focus, and a lot of our viewers are traders in that category. Plus we look at ETFs, indexes, and 25 different futures charts. Many of you may look at a regular basis at our Future Speak, which comes out on Wednesday. So we wanted to work on a way to consolidate all of our work, a way that just really at a glance you can get a sense for, well, the condition of a particular stock and or future or ETF, and also get a sense for, well, is there possibly a trade setting up? So we've developed a table that we think just at a glance you'll be able to do that. Investors, swing traders, option traders, we think it's really for everybody. This offering is in our level 3, which means that those people that are now level 3 subscribers will get that, and also level 4 subscribers who get our slim charts every single week. Well, this is going to be supportive to the charts, and this will be included in your subscription also. So what we wanted to do is to go through this to let you get familiar with what we're doing and get your feedback over this next month, and then we'll be able to tweak it and really get a sense for if this is something that you really want. So it's kind of a test period for us all. 1 month, free to everybody, for all of us to learn. So what I want to do is walk you through it. I'm going to give you some information, show you the legends of how to read it and what the table is. And we'll be reviewing this on a daily basis and making changes on a daily basis. So let's go to the askSlim webpage and take a look at what we will be doing here. And here is the front page to askSlim. All of you often come here because this may be where you watch our Market Week show. Right here is the viewer that you're normally used to looking at. And we have all of our, on the top navigation here is all of our offerings. Now look right over here at resources, because that's where we're going to go right now, to resources. And what I'm going to do is highlight resources, and you're going to notice that there's something new in there. Right on the top is rankings and trade setups. That's our new offering. And for now, that's where this is going to live. Later on, this is going to move into our member dashboard, into level 3. So level 3 and level 4 subscribers will be able to see this. So now I'm going to click on rankings and trade setups, and you will see this page has now changed. And let's walk through this and get a sense for what is on here as far as the information goes, and then we will look at the table and show you how to use it and what we're going to be doing. So this is a proposed new offering and intended to be with level 3. And you can send your questions to slim@askSlim.com or any feedback that you might have regarding this. The list below is meant to aid investors, swing traders, and option traders. So we've combined all our analytical work really in one table to be used, to be looked at in 3 different time frames. And there's also going to be something in there called trade setups. And these setups come from our focus list. Now all of everything on our list, there's 68 different items on here that are futures and indexes, ETFs, and our focus list of stocks. And what we do is try to include the best stocks that there are as far as trading options go in the widely held and with really good option volume. And here is really how it's meant to be used. So I'm going to scroll this down now so that you can see the information that's in here. And so for investors, what we have are two different time frames, and I'll show you this as we get down to the table, but just right now, a general information, they'll be looking at our long term right in here and our intermediate term for rankings and momentum and trend condition. Now this is really a key because we believe in momentum. We think that identifying momentum is the best way to get in trades that you can maximize, that you can get the most out of the trade and have the least probability of getting in trouble, because if you have a counter trend move, momentum will prevent it usually from moving counter trend in any kind of a sharp way. So for swing traders and option traders, what we're going to use is the intermediate term rankings for momentum and trend, and the short term for trade setups. In other words, looking for entries and exits. And we'll show you how we're going to do that also. Let's talk about the trade setups for a moment. We do not believe in giving buy or sell recommendations. Every trader has their own unique style and their own level of market engagement. And every trader should be responsible for their own trades, for their own analysis, for proper entry and exit. So what we're going to do here is simply take all of our analysis and suggest that there is a setup for a trade entry. What you do with it is really up to you. Everybody has their own styles. You might choose on a trade setup to buy or sell the equity, buy or sell an option, to do some sort of a spread. It's really all up to you that fits in your style if you agree with the analysis. So you have to really go and check the analysis and be sure that this is something that you are interested in doing that's a good fit for you. So the way we're going to give our trade setups is in different levels. We believe that there are confidence levels in a particular trade. So every trade, a counter trend trade may be setting up as a trade, but we believe that counter trend trades are what we would consider level 1. So that's like an average confidence trade. And let's assume that you traded in 3 different increments of weightings of trade. Level 1 trade would be your smallest trade. Let's say it's a 1 lot. A level 2 is a higher confidence trade, and what that probably means is that we see intermediate momentum in it, that it's more severe, and so that would tell us that that setup is setting up with a higher confidence trade, and that would be a level 2. So let's say that's a 2 lot. Level 3 confidence level trades are trades that are intermediate, longer term, are very definitely in some sort of a sharp momentum, and there's been some sort of a setup or counter trend move that is a high quality entry, and those are very likely to have some big move after this particular counter trend move to the support or resistance area. So those are what we consider very high confidence trades, and we want to make bigger trades and even add on to them when they go our way. So those will be level 3 trades. Now level 3 trades are going to be fairly rare, that they are going to be trades that, and I keep using the word trade, it's a level 3 trade for you. For us, it's a setup. It's a level 1, level 2, or level 3 setup. As we're not really giving trade recommendations, we're going to let you decide based on our confidence level on the trade, what on the setup, what the trade is for you. So trade and setup tend to be a little interchangeable in here, but really for us it's setup. For you, it's trade, deciding on the level of confidence that you have in that particular setup and how it fits into your own style. So I wanted to talk a lot about that. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to do this every day, so we're going to put 3 stars anytime there's a new trade that comes up, a new setup that comes up, and that is going to be up there for only the 1 day, and then we'll take those stars off, and then it'll stay there until the setup is no longer there. So in other words, it went through an area that we consider a stop, or that the setup is no longer valid, or that it moved away in a considerable way and would have been highly profitable, and it's moved away enough for us to take it off. And if we do that, we'll gray the box out and leave it there so that you can see it. So I want to show you this table now so that you can get a good sense for what I'm talking about. Kind of went through that as far as how we're going to set this up. So here is the table. Now I want to note that the first thing in here that you're going to see are legends when you look at this, and also note that we're going to use Twitter in order to tweet out when we put up a new setup, when something sets up. And for now, you can follow me on askSlim. Once we have sign-ups for membership in mid-January, then we're going to create another Twitter handle, so that you don't have to get all of my other tweets. The only tweets you'd be getting on that one would be regarding setup changes and when we've posted anything new on there. So that for now, if you want to be notified, just go to Twitter and follow askSlim. So here is the intermediate term legend, the intermediate term rankings. So let's go through this. What this means is that when it's green or when it's P, it means that the cyclical patterns are positive. Now, in this case, when you see a P and a yellow, that's going to mean that it's kind of a transitionary period. There's something changing in there, but it's changing in the way of being positive. Now, when you have P1, P2, P3, these are relative to our cycle analysis. So a P1 is going to be a rising phase, but it's probably going to be in a significantly negative longer-term pattern. So it's just a rising phase in a longer-term pattern. A P2 is going to be a rising phase in a positive pattern, and a P3 is going to be a rising phase in a breakout type pattern, positive breakout type pattern. And this is the opposite for the negative. In other words, N1 is transitionary, moving to negative. N2 is a counter trend negative move in something that is quite positive on the longer term. N2 is something that is negative on the longer term and negative on the intermediate term on the cycle pattern. And N3 is something that is very negative as far as the longer term goes and is actually breaking down and likely accelerating to the downside. So that is our intermediate term momentum and ranking legend. Our shorter term and longer term will just show you the colors, positive, negative, and neutral in here. The next one to look up is our trade setup legend. And this will all come clear to you when I go through this again, but I want to just see what this is. So again, we talked about confidence levels. A level 1 long or short is average. A level 2 long or short is high confidence. And a level 3 long or short is our highest confidence, and likely going to occur when we're in a condition of strong momentum and either P3 or N3. That's likely when we're going to get these level 3s, longs or shorts. So these are all about confidence levels in the setups, and then you can decide how to make the trade fit for you. So let's take a look at the actual table as we unveil this rankings and trade setups. And there's 2 pages in here. So the first one that you're looking at here is the focused list of our stocks. This list of stocks, you could see Apple, Amazon, Boeing, all the way down through XLE. Some of them that are in here, I'll have to go to the second page to show you the bottom. Some of them that are in here are actually ETFs that are mixed in here. So it's stocks and ETFs. The next page is going to be the bottom of this, and also all of the futures. So let's just take, for example, let's look at Amazon. You can see in here Amazon is green and P3 in green. So this is going to be about the highest ranking that you'll see from us In other words, the long-term momentum is sharply up based on our specific criteria. The intermediate patterns and cycle patterns are a P3, which means it's solidly to the plus side, and the short-term pattern, which is based on momentum and also our own specific proprietary indicators, also show that as positive. So the Amazon, you could see, is very positive. When you get something like that, that's going to be something that is a high probability that declines won't last long and you're going to keep getting moves to the upside. So the next thing, let's just take a peek at, I mean, you've known the condition of oil stocks and what they've been like, right? Could keep moving down. Well, something like Occidental, which is red in long-term momentum, that is N3 as far as the intermediate pattern and cycle patterns go, and the short term is red. So this one, is likely to be under continual pressure, and that's been that way for a long time. So you can really see how to use it. Now, for investors, you want to use the long-term and intermediate term. So this tells you the long-term momentum and the intermediate cyclical pattern. So in the case of where you get like Caterpillar, where it's sharply to the downside as far as long term goes, that is strong downside momentum. It's in a P1 intermediate pattern, which means it's in an upward bounce and likely some kind of a mild bounce. So for the purposes of the intermediate, for investors, you can see in there, well, that's not really in very great shape. Now, for swing traders and option traders, you're going to look at these two, the intermediate and the short term. And that's the basis for where we're going to put our trade setups, which appear in this column right over here. And also notice that we have notes right over here. So we're going to put in notes on a regular basis also to try to help with some clarity on some of this analysis. I promise you that this is going to come clear to you after you're working on this for a while. So let's take a look at JP Morgan. JP Morgan is long-term positive in an intermediate rising phase and short-term positive. You can see that. What that set up for us was a long, level 1 long. Now note that there are no stars here, and this is grayed out. The reason it's grayed out is because, well, it recently had a big upside move, and therefore maybe the trade setup is not as good as it was before. So we leave it there for a few days just so that you can see that maybe it comes back and gives another trade entry. So that's an example right there. Now what I'm going to do now is go to the bottom of the page, and I'm going to highlight the bottom of the page. Let this get this up so you can see. And you're going to see here where it says go to page 2, and I'm going to click the down arrow. And now I'm going to come back up, and there's actually a lot more that you can see on here. And this is all of the bottom, second page is the bottom of the stocks and ETFs, and then all of the futures and indexes that you can see right in here. So for example, today in the S&P 500 in the morning, it had moved up into the resistance zone, an N2 as far as negative intermediate pattern, a negative pattern as far as the short term goes, and that today yielded a level 2 short side trade. Well, good for us because the market turned sharply to the downside today after having a big upside move the day before. So you can see that also there was a setup today. You notice the 3 stars in the DX, which is the dollar index. Also, you see in 6E, which is the euro, there's a setup today. Also, this is a level 1 short in the dollar and a level 1 long in the euro currency. Also note that ZN, the bond market, which is in negative, you can see that right there, set up for a short side trade, a level 1 earlier in the week, but it broke to the downside, so we gray it out. And we leave it there just in case it gets a bounce and sets up again, but so that you can see what the trades were earlier in the week. So that's an explanation of how you use this. Man, I know that there are going to be a lot of questions. Again, I want to reiterate, though, sometimes I use the word trade setup. It's really setup. In other words, there's an opportunity here. Basically trading is 50-50. You'll hear everybody say that. Even if you're trading options and selling option decay, your probability is still 50-50, no matter what the numbers say. What we want to do is try to improve on those setups. If we can get to 55 to 70% on these setups, well, that's really a big edge. And that will give, I think, a good opportunity for people to be profitable using these setups. So don't look for every one of them to work. The truth is that if 30 to 40% of them don't work, are wrong, it's still going to be a good edge. So some of them, of course, won't work. Some of them won't be timed perfectly. Some of our cycle analysis will be off. And when that's the case, well, we're just going to pull it off of there, and it's not like we're going to put on a trade and take off a trade and tell you what we're doing. We're just sharing our analysis. We're just trying to put it in a nice compact way for you to see on a daily basis when setups come. We hope to put up between 1 and 3 setups out of these 68 different easy to trade as far as option goes, underlyings, and those 1 to 3 setups will you probably stay up there for a number of days. It's really for swing trades and for option trades. So that means the holding periods in there, in our mind, are from a week to maybe to 5 or 6 weeks, depending on how how it goes, how long it takes to work, and how well the momentum picks up in our direction based on the particular setup. So this is going to take some tweaking by us to get better at this. We're going to need your feedback on it. We're going to really need to know what you think of it as far as how understandable it is. We know you're going to ask for explanations on it. Please write to arvi, ARVI, at askSlim.com, or to me, slim at askSlim.com, with your questions. And with your feedback around it. We want this to be a product that we're selling and that really serves a lot of people. The people that are getting our charts, again, will get this automatically, but those are only TOS users. So we want to really make this so it's a broad type product for many traders, that whether they're on TOS or not. Also note that our stock list in there is about 43 stocks, but what we've tried to do is to get as good a coverage across the groups as we can. So some of those will be proxies for other stocks in the group, and you can see how well there's synchronicity in a particular underlying on our list to other stocks in the group. So I'll probably make another recording like this along the way, because there'll be a lot of feedback that comes and some tweaks that we do in there. And so this is kind of the first one and the introduction to the askSlim rankings and trade setups. Please feel free to send this to everybody who you think is interested and involved in the market. Show them how to access it, and this will be available to you to everybody at no cost through the middle of January. And by that time, we should have enough feedback and idea as to whether or not this is interesting to you, that you would want to subscribe to this, and whether or not you find valuable use in it, or it's not valuable to you at all, or too confusing, or whatever. But you'll let us know about that, and I look forward to get your commentary. Again, if you want to know the cost of this, just go to our membership options and look in level 3. That hasn't been changed yet to include this offering. That'll be changed down the road, but you'll see the pricing there. Level 3 pricing is what this will be. All right, that is it. Looking forward to getting your feedback. askSlim rankings and trade setups. Thanks a lot.